it is Nikki. Welcome back to the channel and happy 2024. It's crazy to think that almost exactly a year ago, I was just finding out that I was going to get to work with Jill Williamson and with the other draft authors on the Blood of Kings Legends series, which is wild. It just does not feel like a year ago. We've been working hard on that project behind the scenes, and I think in the next couple of weeks there will be some announcements. So if you haven't read Jill Williamson's Blood of Kings series, I would highly recommend that you check it out, if only so that you can celebrate with me when we get to announce what characters we all get to write about. And you'll only understand it if you've read the original series, so go read the original series. That has been sort of my #1 project over the holidays in the few weeks I've had since exams. I've also been able to do some reading, which has been so nice. Like actually sitting down with a physical book when you have just nothing else to do. So delicious. I got the chance to finish Jennifer Kropp's Winter Souls series, which just wrecked me. The conclusion was just so beautifully done and was everything that I want from Portal Fantasy, so it inspired me a lot. I would like to do a wrap-up video on that series, but I have to stage the 4th book first. I staged the 3rd book and it looks so good. But I need to figure out what I'm doing with the 4th, so I need time for that. Which brings me to my first sort of resolution for the year. I want to do more reading. Tentatively in my head, I would like to read 12 physical books, and that doesn't include like audiobooks or things that I read for school or whatever. So it's like 12 novels for pleasure on the side. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but I still have 2 semesters left, so I know I'm going to be in school for a good part of this year. I have to be reasonable. And finishing Jennifer Kropp's series really inspired me with my own Portal Fantasy project, and that was one of the things that I also got to do a lot of this holiday. Unfortunately, my family did get sick over Christmas, so there was one day where I just kind of barricaded myself in my room because I did not want that, and spent literally, like I kid you not, 5 hours, maybe more, plotting my Portal Fantasy on chart paper on my walls. And guys, it was like the best day ever. I know that sounds so awful. Obviously, I don't want my family to be sick, and they made fun of me mercilessly for being such a recluse. But you know what? I like what I like, and I was in my room, I had my Dark Academia playlist on, had my crackling candle going, and my twinkly lights, and I got one of those like little moons for Christmas that you can turn on that lights up that actually looks like the moon. And it was just such an inspiring space, and I just got to fill a massive piece of chart paper on my walls with a story that I'm excited about. You could not describe a better day. So for goal number 2, I'm not going to say that I'm going to draft that novel this year because I don't think that's really realistic, and I also don't think that it's really next on my priority list or that I'll be ready to write it. So this year I want to spend some time writing short stories about characters in the world who can get really familiar with it, because one of my issues with Portal Fantasy is the awkward transition phase from this world to the fantasy world. I always find that super tedious, and so I want to figure out how I can like streamline that phase of the story as much as possible, and I figure one of the key ways I can do that is to be super familiar with the world and to know it really well. So I want this year to write a handful of short stories from just like random side characters in the world so I can see it from as many angles as possible. A lot of them will probably make it into the actual story because I'll fall in love with them and want to do something with them. But the point is to practice honing my abilities with short little assignments as opposed to big, huge things, and to get familiar with the world. So I can like kill a couple birds with one stone. Goal number 3, completely unrelated, I would really like to have my green belt by next Christmas. I just got my yellow, which is really exciting, and that was my goal, yellow by Christmas. I don't know how long I'll be able to continue karate, but for now I am really enjoying it, and it's nice to have another hobby. Imagine that, guys! I have another hobby! My final goal is totally doable. I would really like to finish the first draft of my prequel project. I'm 300 pages in, and I think I wrote those 300 pages in probably like a 4 to 6 month period in 2023, and then I kind of stopped in the fall during my fall semester. What I would love to happen is for me to finish that draft by the end of like, I don't know, May or June, so that I can say I completed this draft within a year. 300 pages in this project is like past the midpoint, so like I'm heading into the climax very soon, which obviously will still take a lot of words and pages. Like, never underestimate Nikki's ability to draw something out. That's a precedent that I would really love to set for myself, is finishing one of my epic fantasy projects in a year, because I don't know, if I don't speed up that, I don't know that I will ever finish this series, so we have to get on this. All in all, Who can say what the future holds other than God? Only He knows. Whenever I make goals, I make them with optimism and hope, but also knowing that the Lord will make it clear to me what my priorities should be as the year goes on, and I will be flexible and try to be in tune with that, where He wants me using my time and my abilities throughout the year. That's all we can do, but it is still fun to kind of look ahead and try and set goals for yourself. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any big writing goals that you're trying to accomplish in 2024, I would really love to hear about them in the comments below. And as always, to start 2024, do not forget to spend some time in the clouds today.